Good morning. You are live on March 2nd, 2023. You are live with just Doug today. My partner Quinston is out traveling. Hopefully you don't get too big of questions, but I am here to check your workflows, answer your questions, and generally just make sure you get the best out of TimeBolt. And I don't have anything particular planned today, except just kind of going through some of the questions. TJ, it looks we've got you on first. I don't have Quinston with me today, but that might throw a wrench in what it is we're looking to do, TJ. But how can we help you out today?
No, I just want to check in, see how you guys are doing, listen to other people's workflows. I did notice that the issue that you and I are aware of seems to be happening with Zoom. I was on a Microsoft Teams meeting last night for 2 hours, and I recorded it using OBS, and I don't have that pause at those pink areas of the things. I think it has something to do with Zoom, but I'm still doing some more research for you. But I'm just going to sit back and listen in, and so I got an enablement session at 10:45. I'm going to just listen in with you guys. Appreciate it, though.
Sure, absolutely. Hopefully get some good action. And I'm not exactly sure when it comes to Zoom if it's just the way the Zoom video is recorded, because I experienced those same types of hiccups when it just has that minor pause, but I'm not exactly sure what we can do. I was looking over from our conversation yesterday, but I'm editing with under the exact same scenario. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. Scott, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Good. Do you have any particular question today?
That's why I'm here. And the first call we got on with you was you covered a lot of stuff, sent me some great stuff. Somehow I've missed it, and we're trying to keep some things humming. The question that I have is about the playback rate. Somehow you were able to set it that the playback rate, and I think also in the render, it's 1.25 speed.
Yes.
I've lost that setting or can't figure out how to make that happen.
Are we able to look on your computer, or do you have time?
Yeah, I've actually got it up right now. I'm looking at it. I've got one in there right there.
But when you're previewing playback, what I would recommend, see that preview playback rate right up there. Put that at 1.5x, and that way, once you hit spacebar, it's just going to default to previewing at 1.5x. So if you hit spacebar right now, and it just helps, right? I don't know too many people don't do 1.5x. That's just awesome. Now, if you scroll down, just make sure your settings look good. Your left and right padding's all within the normal realm. And
yeah, I've kind of tweaked that in. That's been great.
Sometimes when people go to tweak, they really tweak, and it just messes.
Oh yeah, no, I've been budging it.
Nice, nice.
The budges, I got the budges and the nudges down to where it's like it's on. So.
Perfect. What you're referring to, I believe your question is about turbo mode, right? Where you're able to add 1.125x speed. Just go ahead and talk 10% faster, correct?
Yeah.
What we've done is go to the 3 button icon right there, click that, and hit activate turbo mode. Every little button does something in TimeBolt. It just does. See the other little 3 icons, the other little 3 button right there? This is where you're able to either add to render queue, or you're able to download the markers text file. You're able to add it to render queue as a WAV audio only file, or add mark cuts to render queue and turbo them. If you were going to use markers and you were making a short from a longer video, a YouTube video, you're able to just increase the speed of your shorts as well.
Is this kind of the default that you to use, the 1.125?
Yes, that's the one that I use on all of our office hours when we post them to YouTube. For me, it just, for heavy information-based video content, it just makes sense. Really, for anything. Quinston's usually on here to tell me, dude, you're sharing the wrong screen. This is really kind of the math here. You're talking, people talking around 150 to 170 words per minute. Once you actually remove all the dead air out of normal rate of conversation, you're averaging about 208 words a minute. When you add the additional 10% turbo mode to 1.125x, you're actually talking at 233 when people can read at 238 and give comprehension to much more. And that's really what keeps people engaged. So yes, that's why, and you don't end up sounding like a chipmunk either. That's just probably just the best route for us to go. Does that answer your question about turbo?
Perfectly.
Awesome.
That was it. Yeah.
And what type of content do you make, Scott? What type of content do you make, Scott?
We're doing interviews a lot. You can't beat dropping an interview in here and just zipping right through it. You said the heavy information video, and then I'll do some other video stuff where I'm doing quick messaging and shorts type of things. But it's perfect for what we're doing.
These long let me ask you, are you using chapter markers for YouTube? That would be my first question.
No, we're not. We're not posting on YouTube. We're doing some stuff with a large nonprofit that they use Vimeo and send stuff out to their database.
That's what I didn't understand. If you've got, I remember at Cultura when I was selling enterprise video platforms, they had a description box. And I'm going to go back to some of these companies and see whether it's Vimeo or Cultura and see in their description box, do they accept the formatted types of YouTube chapter markers? Because to me, whether you're doing it for YouTube or you're doing it for internal And that's where I got my start, enterprise video platforms and internal employee video. That stuff really needs to be categorized. Right.
Yeah.
If you're sending out internal video to your team, boy, wouldn't it be nice when you've got 15 category markers there that does that. It would be interesting. You might want to check with Vimeo to see if they do chapter markers or anything like that, because if they do, that might be something extra that you can.
Yeah, that would definitely take advantage of the extra feature. Sure.
And again, this is what here, I'll just show you real quick. I'm actually running a video right now, throwing some turbo mode. This is actually what the chapter markers, when I hit right after I go through, I go download markers. I go activate turbo mode. I don't know if it'll do all this right now because here we go. Activate turbo mode, and I do download markers text file after I went through and typed in all the chapter markers. And this right here, look, do you know how long this takes to do at your second pass? Because now all of a sudden, after you've got your video all cut up, now you're going back through and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's that split second and what did we talk about? And now you don't want to just listen to the whole damn thing again, right?
Right.
When you're able to type this out on the first pass, it doesn't get any easier than copy and pasting this and having it automatically formatted for YouTube. And I edit these calls with shorter than it takes to actually shoot live. I'm glad to hear how you're using TimeBolt. That's working out for you well. Do you have any additional questions, Scott?
No, that's it for me. That's
excellent.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for choosing TimeBolt.
Yep.
Nice talking with you again.
Yeah, you too. All right, I got to jump. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Doug. I was on a call 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was having a rendering issue. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
So I tried again. It still did not work, but I have it pulled up and I have the event log text file pulled up too if you want to take a look. This is the end of the file. This was the last one. I got all the way to where it was recombining the audio, and then I got an uncaught error.
Pull up a little bit.
And that was my second time trying. The first time I had an issue as well. The first issue, it said there wasn't enough space on my computer. I checked my storage and it seemed it was fine.
How much storage do you have? Because this typically no space left on this device. That might be how much storage do you have?
At first, I don't know the tech term for it, but I was saving it to my desktop, and then I put in my hard drive, which is 2 TB, and I tried storing it there, and that's where it got all the way to the recombining audio and failed. But this first time it failed, I was just saving it to my desktop. I'm not sure where I can find my storage.
So there might be 2 issues that are happening here. Sometimes in tech, you'll fix one, but there's actually something else because there's actually 2 things that were wrong. Right? It's hard to zero in. I think this may be one of those instances. What would be interesting to see is that obviously TimeBolt's reading your file. You're able to edit it, right? It cuts out all the dead air and stuff. Then you go to render. This is your hard drive?
This is just my computer.
Macintosh hard drive. Plenty of space. Oh, wait, no. Free is 113 megabytes. I don't think you have. There's going to be 2 different things here. One is it's possible that it's not finding the file on your external hard drive. You had the right idea to put it on your desktop to make sure that it's not a file locating issue within your folder structure. But I think once you did that and put it on the desktop, there was no space. I think the second time you did it, maybe it's possible it couldn't find it.
I started off by saving. My first time, it was to desktop. But
you don't have any room. That's what I'm saying. On your desktop itself, you have 114 megabits worth of room. There's what I would suggest is, how did you record this? What type of device?
I just used my phone.
iPhone or something? Or
Yep.
There shouldn't be any issue. Can you on if you can just scroll down on the TimeBolt app. Let's go ahead. What we're going to do is do one more troubleshooting. Okay. I really do think it's in space, but if you scroll down, let's see. Settings, nice work on all the silence detection settings. Looks great. Keep going. And then we're going to hit export XML. It should just be a 60 frames per second or 30. And how you can tell, click that. See that 60 right there? That means you're shooting at a regular constant frame rate, which is exactly what you do. It's not variable frame rate. It's got 60 frames. This is a good file. There is no reason why TimeBolt should not be working on this unless one of 2 reasons. One is that it can't be found. Right, it's hidden in some directory or some folder structure on some other hard drive where it's hard to find and there's not room to process it. You don't have enough space to run the scratch path, enough hard disk space. I would check. Definitely, I would see is there any way that you only got 114 megabits left on your desktop. Is there any way that you can go through? Do you use Final Cut or anything?
I use iMovie. Am I not able to save it to my hard drive then?
Well, you don't have any space.
No, sorry, I keep saying hard drive.
I know what you mean.
What I'm referring to is this. this.
Yeah, an external hard drive.
My external hard drive.
Yeah, totally. You can.
Want me to plug it in to see how much space is on it?
So that would be a good idea. This should be working very, very. It's got to be a file location. You've got plenty of space here. You've got plenty of space here. And where did you put the file on this? Did you put it in some deep folder structure? Or did you put it on the main root folder?
I put it in a folder within
Can
the
we,
hard
can we check it? What folder you put it in? I just want to check the name. That's another thing. We got to make sure that the name doesn't have some odd character.
Absolutely. I don't know if it actually ever saved to here though. Nothing's saved to it
Well,
because
you gotta, when you say save to it, what you have to do though is take do you have the raw file on this hard drive, external hard drive, or did you plug it in from your main drive and then try and save it out to a hard drive?
the raw file is actually in my downloads, which I
Okay.
put directly into TimeBolt.
This is the thing. I just don't think you have enough money. I just don't think you have enough room in your scratch path. I can't recall if the scratch path will also be created on an external hard drive, but you would want to put the raw file on the external hard drive and then save it to that space. But again, I think with the scratch path, what's happening, you have 117 megabits on your, I would at least get a couple gigs of space back on your main drive on your Mac, and then try the process. Put the raw source file on this external hard drive, find it from the external hard drive, save it to the external hard drive. What is going to happen though, the scratch path is going to be running on your main computer, which is, it goes in and does all the cut lists and makes all, and it requires some memory, right? So that it can cut the stuff apart and then recompile it. And then at the end, it completely deletes that directory, completely deletes the scratch path, having a buffer room to work there. I absolutely know that should work.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, we'll just get on a call one-on-one. And even if you try, why don't you try this just to confirm it? Free up about a gig of space on your hard drive. Then what you do, just get on your phone, make a short 2-minute talking video, right? That way it's not too large. You can see how the process works.
Yeah.
That it will work.
I can do that. The other thing is, how long is the rendering supposed to be taking? Because all of this was an hour and a half, and that's a long time.
That's because it was fighting for space. How long's your video?
It was 7 or 8 minutes.
The only time a video should take an hour of rendering is if it's an hour and a half long.
Oh.
Right? You know what I'm saying? This is all a product. I promise. It's all a product of not having enough space for your scratch directory, which is what TimeBolt uses to compile and decompile all the files. That'll fix the issue.
I'll try it, and then if not, I'll email you. I have your email. The other thing too, I'm supposed to be going down here, or where am I? This is the button I should be clicking to render, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember from the last time I tried this, I said that I did the video clips, and I ended up just downloading a bunch of video clips. That actually worked, but again, it took forever and it wasn't ideal.
No, definitely don't do that. Don't do that. You're working within iMovie. You just do a single video file. What type of content are you making, Hunter? Can you refresh my memory?
It's more talking head, just showing my home decor and stuff.
Are you aware of the other kind of, since you're working in iMovie, I just want to make sure, do you know about punch? Do you know about speed up silences? Have you tried any of those effects?
I haven't, because this is my second video that I'm trying in TimeBolt. I did see there's a punch feature, which I guess all you do is hit P. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh.
And then exactly, that's the punch feature. Hit P, and then you can hit P a couple times, and then hit Alt Option and the arrow keys. It'll give you there you go. Now hit Alt Option and the arrow keys.
I don't know why I'm not seeing Alt.
I'm sorry, Option, and you're on a Mac. Option and the arrow keys, right next to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right, so you can like specify the zoom area, the zoom amount. It just kind of gives you, we're working on some cool ways to just kind of automate that eventually.
Yeah.
But you've got, and then also speed up silences is a very underutilized tool. If you click on, go down and hit speed up silences, fast forward silences right there. I just leave, you can either mute or unmute it when you're wanting to speed stuff up. It actually doesn't sound bad. I just take off the mute. And then what you can do is you scroll up. Let's imagine you're talking to somebody and you wanted to show how to fold a piece of paper, right? You want to fold this, you go any time in between when you're talking or not talking. You could be talking and speed it up by 4x, right? Stop talking, demonstrate something, and then come here and see that red part. Let's just, the longer red part to the right. Let's just imagine that was like something you wanted. Yeah, see like this really long thing. Imagine that's just something you want to speed up. So if you click the bar above the playhead, see that red bar?
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Click that twice. There we go. Once. When it turns to orange, that's what gets sped up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So you can like, even if you have multiple cuts, as long as all of those are orange, it'll all maintain without being a jump. The only thing you won't be able to do is preview it. It's all condensed down in the final deal, but you just can't preview it because we're dealing with full on time here. Those two features right there are really going to help. And then you heard us. If you get into chaptering content for YouTube, chapter markers.
I actually don't chapters because I find that people just skip through the video and I don't want that.
And do you save down to shorts, or are you doing, is it just, do you also do shorts?
I do.
Okay, so let me forget chapter markers for YouTube. Let's talk about shorts. If you scroll up now, imagine you're running through and you got your first key segment, your main point one, then you have your main point two, and then you got the filler in between, right? And you just want your main points in the shorts. As you're going through, let's go to the green part. And as you're going through, click M. Let's say this is important part. That adds a marker. Let's just imagine that was your main point one. Let's go through. We can start. Let's say that's main point M for that. Go to the very beginning now.
But
if you go here, hold on one second. Go a couple minutes more to start. Keep scrolling. Just want to create some separation between what I'm showing you. There we go. Hit M.
You could definitely use some cleaning.
Click M. Sure. This is just pretend. Let's say these are all the key parts, right? This is a 10-minute video and you got 3 minutes of shorts here. So now what you do is you've got these markers that are based, imagine a reverse funnel. You got your long video, then you got your iMovie video, and now you got your shorts, right? The reverse pyramid. That's what these markers allow you to do. Now go scroll down just a little bit. There you go. And see where it says keep only marked cuts. Click that. It'll say we recommend you save your timeline, which is usually, but I'll show you how to get out of this. We're going to be able to get out of this without saving anything.
Right here?
Yep. Keep only marked cuts. What this does is with keep only marked cuts, it just reorganizes your timeline. Keep only marked cuts. Now, if you hit spacebar,
You could definitely use some cleaning. But having the storage for the covers, that was.
now hit spacebar again and pause. Now let's imagine you got your four main mark cuts, right? Now you can go down and either save this as you can save it as an XML file, right? Or I'm sorry, you can hit add to render queue and you can save this mark cut. Right, hit add to render queue and look and see what's going on in the render. There you go. It's going to be queued up. This TimeBolt 1. Your markers are now queued up. Now you could go back to the timeline and finish editing. Now you're going to hit to get back to your regular timeline. You're going to hit Command Z, which is an undo command. Now you go back to the regular timeline that you're in. So now you can continue to edit. And once you're done with this, you can now go to add to render queue and then start rendering. Now both a short and your longer video for iMovie will be rendered out.
What is the difference between all of these down here? Or which ones do I care about?
If you only care about iMovie, only worry about just add to render queue. Just go straight with what TimeBolt offers. You can look at turbo and add in turbo mode and stuff, which just increases rate of speech. But I don't know if you want to do those types of things that fit your type of content. But it's just start rendering. The one that you will worry about that I would recommend if you've got a Mac is Final Cut Pro. And once you get Final Cut Pro, you can begin to export XML. You won't even be rendering in TimeBolt. You'll be exporting a cut list. XML is instant. Click XML. Just click it.
I think we already did one.
We already did. See how fast that was? Now you can essentially, if you were to have Final Cut Pro, you could left click on it and say open in Final Cut Pro. And then what opens up is all of your cut lists fully made, right? It's so much fast. It's extremely fast. And then you just render out of Final Cut after you add certain design elements.
But what's the point of me rendering in here and then adding it to iMovie? Is it just for me to add more stuff?
Yes, exactly. iMovie does not accept XML, right? That's what we made do the clips for. And that was just that you could see where the individual cuts were so that it makes it easier to edit. In iMovie, there's just no point. Just render out a single video. But if you're going to be working in Final Cut and it's something that you're going to add titles to and some crazy transitions or B-roll, that's where you'd want to use XML.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Well, I have to jump on my other meeting, but I'm going to try this all out and then I'll email you to let you know how it goes.
Please do, Hunter. Thank you very much. Appreciate you choosing TimeBolt.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Have a good one.
You too. Well, I guess I'm all by myself. So that's going to do it for this edition of Office Hours Live with TimeBolt on March 2nd, 2023. Thank you for joining us. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, the drill, and I'm out of time. Thank you.